everybody, and welcome along to One Hub Racing Season 24. We are back for round number 9 of the championship, and it's going to be at the Jeddah Corniche circuit for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. First season Formula 1 back in 2021, and it's had multiple winners: Lewis Hamilton, Sergio Perez, and more recently, Max Verstappen. Has 27 corners, set over 6.174 kilometers, and it requires a lot of top speed, and there's going to be some great overtaking, so hopefully you guys can be able to watch it with us. So, my name is Jess Ball. I am one of your commentators throughout this evening's race, and joining me will be Max Ring, but he's on his way from work, so he will be joining us in just a little moment. However, I do have some standings to go through and some Stewart's reports. Now, Samba did win the race last time out back in Mexico. It's quite entertaining with the rain involved as well. 156 points at the moment. Samba is currently in the championship by Ben Mills in second on 148. Samba is not here tonight, as my controller is in my other... There we go. Samba's not here tonight, so this is a good chance for Ben to capitalise. Same with Aiden as well in third. Bryn in fourth on 70. Lynx in fifth on 69. Then we've got Jayco in sixth on 66. Chalkers in seventh on 61. We've got Larkin on 52. Colin on 49. Nate Clark on 46. Owen White on 43, but he's not racing anymore. We've got 35 for Casper, and we've got 34 for Nick, and there are the rest of your standings. So we are about to get underway for qualifying, and 70 drivers, which is great to see. A few drivers will be taking their engine penalty, one of which is Ben Mills, so you'll be starting at the back of the grid. Possibly not the baddest track to start at the back of the grid yet, and it is quite, could cause some bit of a pile-up, so it could be interesting. I'm trying to find out who else is there. Got a time, an engine penalty. But whilst I do that and find that, just as the session is about to start, we've got Max in the commentary box. Max, welcome. We're at Jeddah. What do you think about this circuit?
Oh, wow. Hello, everybody. I'm here, and yeah, Jess, it's going to be a very eventful Grand Prix, you would think, just due to the nature of the circuit, and we'll just have to wait and see how the drivers play this one out. As you say, Ben Mills taking his grid penalty now is somewhat a good opportunity for him to maybe keep out of trouble and the opening laps of that Grand Prix. But still, it's a circuit which, even though it's a street circuit, it is easy to overtake. Of course, you do have, some of the longer DRS straights which allow you to overtake so easily, but at the end of the day, if you get into a good rhythm around a circuit like this, you can easily gain a few places over the first 5 laps of the Grand Prix. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Ben, but we'll have to wait and see, and it should be a very, very chaotic Grand Prix as well, knowing how fast the circuit is and how close the walls are.
Yes, as Blind has just found out, he's clipped the curb a little bit, which is not ideal for him so far. And there's a bit of front wing lying about from him as well. So I was going to go on board with him with a lap, but unfortunately he's not improving at the moment. So we may as well go on board with someone else who's just about to start on the soft compounder tyres. 2 other drivers that have got their engine penalties this week is Lakitu and Collins. So they're going to have to do an installation lap and then start at the back of the grid. So there's going to be, I think, one of the Alpines who's just about to start his lap. There we go. Here, let's go on board with Jayco as he makes his way towards turn 3 and 4. Quite technical parts of the circuit. Very blind apex coming up as well. There's a wall waiting for you through these next parts between 7 and 10. Requires a lot of traction, heavy braking as well as you head towards the end of that chicane. Turn 11, quick left flick, heading towards turn 13. A banked left-hander coming up that offers multiple lines for overtaking opportunities at late apex and high speed. Now you're approaching turns 14, 15, 16 and 17. As this next part requires hard braking, and it's a sharp right-hander coming up. Now we're heading to this DRS straight, which goes from around about 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, all the way up to turn 22. And that is where I think overtaking can be tricky if people don't trail brake, basically. It is really hard to do that. As I was commentating on it, J. Cole has invalidated his lap time. So I'm trying to see if anyone else is close to being on a lap. I believe it's George on a lap. So let's stay on board with him. But unfortunately, J. Cole has invalidated.
Yeah, really unfortunate there for J. Cole as George is heading up into turn 27. Now braking at 100-meter board. Get it down to 4th gear, then 3rd, and then you probably short shift back up. No, George elects to stay in 3rd, and he now keeps tight to that inside line, as close to that white line as possible. What's it going to be for George? It's a 26.777. That's a decent lap time there from the Ferrari man, and of course, lost out of the podium last week in Mexico on the final few laps. So he's looking for redemption here today, is the Ferrari man. And of course, we had in the real life Grand Prix one Ferrari win, and it's the driver that's getting picked from the team in real life. So George, not had a win so far this season. Could he pick up his first victory around here in Saudi Arabia? It's definitely a circuit where he can do it at. And that opening lap is a very good one. Nick is heading through up into turn 27. Now he's got the DRS open in his Mercedes. A lot of intermediate times on the board suggest to me that we are going to get a few soft runners at the start of this Grand Prix, as Nick is now coming up to the line. What would it be for the Mercedes? DRS open as he heads to the line. It's only good enough for second, a 27.268. And yeah, really unfortunate there for Nick. Not the greatest of laps for him, but still plenty of time to improve. A lot of track evolution around this circuit.
Yes, and I think at the start of the session, track conditions a bit cooler than you might expect, whereas later on as well, the track has rubbered in a little bit. As I did see someone that's just had a bit of a spin, that was Matter on his intermediate, so he'll be coming in to the pit lane. The press were very busy asking a lot of questions in the pre-race interviews about what people think of Saudi Arabia. Aiden being one of them, saying it's one of his favourite tracks, this circuit. He's only currently down in 11th now because he hasn't settled up, but he means he'll either do very well or finish P7. He's hoping no damage for himself and Bryn, and he doesn't want it to be a rat race. Well, we're not getting a race here, and he's looking forward to racing Ben, Bryn, George, or Finn, or four of them. So I'm guessing that's what that is all about. J. Cole won't be happy. Jeddah will be gone. We'll see what the new Saudi Arabia circuit is like. I don't know when that's going to come into effect, but you've seen the rumours online where there was new circuits available that may play Saudi Arabia. I don't like it personally. Jeddah I think is better, but it'll be interesting to see what they come out of it. But J. Cole's expecting tonight some good racing and DRS tactics. But Max, what do you think of the potential new Saudi Arabia circuit?
Well, it does look quite fun, actually. I mean, it is designed by, I think it's Hernan Tilke's son, and also Alexander Wirtz, the next Formula 1 driver. So it looks quite funky. It looks a bit fun. I'm not sure about that 27-story turn, though. That looks like if you crash and go over the barrier, you're falling to your death. But other than that, it seems all right. But I do like Saudi Arabia. I love the challenge of Jeddah. So maybe this new circuit hopefully can invite overtaking. That's what they're trying to do it for, but we'll have to wait and see. It looks like a tyre killer, and I think it's coming into play from 2026 and beyond. I'm not too sure on that one. I think it's around about that time in the years. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see, but it looks like an interesting circuit. But for me, Saudi Arabia is such a beautiful circuit to drive, and really is one of the most challenging on the game to hook up a lap.
Yeah, it is. And for some people, they like it. For some people, they absolutely hate it. And can I just double check? Have you got Taz sorted?
Oh, yes. Thank you for reminding me there, Jess. I'll quickly do it now.
Thank you very much. As the time thing on the board at the moment is George is fastest with a 1:26.777. Arnold in second. Now, Arnold had a good showing in the first race in this season for him as well, last season. And he's quite good around Jeddah, but we haven't seen how fast some of the other guys have gone yet. But at the moment, him being P2, pretty tidy for him. But obviously with the likes of Samba not being here, Ben taking his engine penalty, Aiden, well, he hasn't set a lap yet, but he's going to go out on a lap. He's got quite a bit to improve on as well. Konzo is hoping that, well, there's going to be probably a lot of incidents, high chance of that happening, so he needs to be ready for it. And he is racing against himself to improve, really. That is interesting, I found in the pre-race interviews, where I've seen people saying, oh, the VSC is my enemy, or myself is my enemy, or the person I'm battling with. I think sometimes people get bad luck under VSCs or red flags or whatever. We haven't seen red flags at all. But if you have a safety car that throws you off, you definitely could be battling against safety cars to get you back into this race pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, around this circuit, safety cars can either help you or just not really at all. And it all depends on when they come out or if you get damage on that opening lap, really. So we'll just have to wait and see. Safety cars around this circuit are either your best friend or your worst enemy. So it's going to be all about, you need that safety car at the right time. If you're boxing for your second stop, say lap 20, then if a safety car comes out then, it's hit the money. Then, and you could see yourself up into the race lead depending on where you were before everyone else boxed around you. So again, we'll have to see how it plays out with the safety cars. But of course, very high chance around the circuit like this that someone will find a way to put it into the wall, and it should be very interesting to see. But of course, you do still have the likes of Aiden now shooting up to the top of with a 1 minute 26.372, a very good lap time there from Aiden. And with his championship rival not here this evening, Aiden looking to score some big points to claw back the deficit in that championship.
Like we were saying earlier in his pre-race interviews, it's one of his favourite tracks. So if he messes up, then it's pretty much going to be on him, to be honest, too. He's in a win it or lose it situation. So he's probably going to take a lot of risks and give us some good battles, which is what we want to see here at One Hub Racing, as we just saw someone else come across the line. I wasn't quite sure who that was, but it was Lynx actually who came across the line with a 126.6 time 9.4. Same lap time as Bryn in second place. Lynx got one of our Driver of the Day nominations last week because his form has definitely been more there over the last few races. He's settled himself into the tier. He's pretty much capitalised on any of the big guns making mistakes, and he's like, thank you very much, I could gain quite a few positions. And there's some races where he's held his own up front. He's pretty much got the strategy right. I know safety cars may be probably sometimes people's best friend, but you got to have the pace in order to do well in a high pressure situation, and that's what Link has done so far. His teammate though, where is he? There he is, Nate Clark. He's heading towards turn number 22 now, and look how committed he is. Another driver who I expect to potentially do well tonight. He's been again another lucky situation, but he didn't get any points last week. But this should be the week, Max, where Nate has got to turn this around. If Lynx could do it, so can Nate Clark.
Yeah, I mean, Nate Clark, he's been the nearly man here in the P1 tier. He's always threatened at a podium. It's like Nico Hulkenberg, always threatening at a podium, and then unfortunately just not able to get over that final step and having a bit of bad luck with it. But he's on a lap now, heading into turns 4 and 5 as you now
he's on his in lap, I think.
No, he's on a push lap.
Oh, is he? Oh, right, okay, yeah. Oh, his second lap. So he was on a banker last time. Yeah. Carry on.
Yeah. So I think he's done 2 out laps here by just the way he didn't invalidate the last run, or he made a costly error in turn 1 last time when he's hit the wall there at turn 13 on the inside there, the banked hairpin, and that could cost him valuable thousandths of a second as he now enters 15 and 16. A big slide through there, nearly into the wall once more. This has been a very scrappy lap time here from Nate Clark. I don't think this one's going to be good enough for even the top 6 at this rate as he now heads through the middle sector and into 22 and 23. Oh, and he's off the road again and into the wall again. Nate Clark having an absolute howler of a lap. Arnold has retired. He's followed Nate Clark really into that wall, and the Aston Martin, that's all he can do in this session. Of course, after a good race last time, looking to build off that, and 4th place at the moment on the grid will certainly do that. But Nate Clark up to the line. What would this be for the Alfa Romeo Sauber? And it's only good enough for P7, 127.198. But Jess, we know for Nate Clark here, there is an abundance of time in that lap, but he needs to get round ASAP if he wants a chance of going out again.
I think there's one rival that a lot of drivers are going to be thinking about tonight, and that is the wall. The wall is so close. People can ride very close to the walls, but there's some people that can't. And if you take the walls at the wrong place, then you'll end up retiring from the race, which is not ideal at all. So these drivers, sometimes being consistent is more important than upright pace, and you've got to nail both of these and find that perfect balance, which is what some people have done already. We are about to hit the final few moments before qualifying, calm before the storm here at One Hub Racing. And even though Samba was not here today, he got asked in the rivalries, can we expect fireworks between himself and Ben Mills, who was also called up to the rivalries? And they said it will be a close fight. He hates the fact that he's missing this weekend's race, which will give advantage to Ben and Aiden, but he won't give up just yet. Ben says, hopefully we can have a close fight until the end of the season. I would hope for the championship to be decided on pace and not through incidents. I think it'll be a close one between myself, Nathan and Aiden. And I think so too, as Casper is on 7-lap-old soft, so I'm guessing he wants to start near the back of the grid. He doesn't want to get involved in the pile-ups, which is fair enough, whereas the top 6, apart from Arnold, who has retired unfortunately, they're going to go on for one final push lap. Let us know your thoughts in the chat, guys. Who do you think is going to get pole position for today's Saudi Arabian Grand Prix? Last time we were here, well, this is we haven't been here last time out because One Hub has never been to Jeddah apart from the All-Star race. So that's why we've had no previous winners to talk about, no stats. So this could be in the history books the first winner around Jeddah for the P1 tier. We'll see what happens. Everyone is on their out laps now and about to get started. Blind will be the first person to start a lap, but Nate Clark won't go any further. He's retired from the session.
Yeah, really unfortunate there for Nate Clark, because we know there was a lot more time in that lap just due to how many mistakes there were, and it could have easily been a front row start to this race, maybe even pole position, because he did lose a lot of time on that one, but it is going to be Blind on a lap here. Casper's on 7-lap-old softs, may I say here, Jess. I think he's doing a race run in qualifying to see how those soft tyres feel, which would be very smart with the strategy. That's Blind's teammate. Blind now heading through turns 15 and 6... Blind, sorry. Heading through 15 and 16. And now DRS open for the Hassman as he's now heading into 22 and 23. So 59.9 in that middle sector. He's using all the road he possibly can. A bit of a slide through that chicane, but nothing too major. Keeps his car in a straight line. Bryn has retired from the session. I don't know if that's a crash for the AlphaTauri man. It does look so for Bryn as he now Blind heads through the final corner. It'll be DRS open. Keep it as tight to that inside line as possible. The Hassman to set his first lap time on the board. Where will this put him? It's good enough for P7 at 26.944. Who else is close to finishing a lap time?
I think one of the Williams.
Larkin come across the line. J. Cole starting his run, and I think it could be the AlphaTauri of Aiden, your provisional pole man, on a lap time here, heading into the final corner now. The AlphaTauri needs to be very late on the brakes, very committed. I think he's got this one in the bag anyway, but we'll just have to wait and see. DRS open for Aiden. He's keeping it as close to the pit lane wall as possible, and he finds an extra 2.5 tenths on top of his lap. It's a 1:26.1, links to the line, and he goes onto the front row for 26.337. So he's sort of unlucky that Aiden improved on his lap because he would have snatched pole position away from the AlphaTauri man. Nick's on a lap. There's a McLaren of Konzo heading up to the final corner. He's in 11th place at the moment. He would love to shoot up into that top 10. It'll be DRS open for the McLaren as he heads to the line. Can he get up into that top 10 and bump Larkin into 11th? Yes, he can at the death. Nick coming up to the line now in 6th. Can he get into that top 5? DRS open for the Mercedes, running up to the line, and he goes up to 3rd. A really good improvement there from Nick. Blind, of course, not on a lap. George not on a lap. Larkin heading into the final corner now. The Alpine trying to get back into that top 10 after Konzo gave him the bump out of that top 10. Can they switcheroo once more? Jayco up to 6th. Larkin finishes in 11th. Unfortunately, with his teammate improving, wasn't able to get into that top 10 there. But Jayco up to 6th place. A very good lap time there from the Alpine at the very death. But it's going to be Aiden on pole position here this evening. He's doing everything he can to try and bring that points deficit down to Nathan Samba. And starting on pole position, that is the perfect way to do so here, Jess.
Just like he did in the first round in Australia, he definitely needed to do this, and he's done it very well. Purple in the first, pretty much in almost every set. He got purple in every sector, apart from the last one. The last sector belonged to Nick. Nick's final sector was incredible. I was riding on board with him, and he just looks so committed through the last part as well. So maybe he's got a good setup for the final sector, and it's helping him just a little bit. But qualifying is now done, and it is a different top 3 than we're used to. But it is one man that you would expect to be up there is Aiden, who's on pole position. And with certain protagonists starting in the back with an engine penalty and certain drivers who are not here either, this could be a very close race. And I'm looking forward to it. Will we see the likes of George coming through back again? Will we see Nate Clark go on a charge? Will we see the unlikely story of people near the back go to do it? Will Casper climb up? He's climbed up in places like this before. So let's look at your order. Aiden's got a 5-place grid penalty. I don't know what's happened there. Now I'll need to double check. We got a lobby restart.
Is it an illegal blocking?
Yes, illegal blocking, which they submitted footage, and but the tier coordinator for that tier has agreed that we will have a lobby restart. But yeah, that has confirmed it because Larkin has left the session. But we'll run through your order. Here's your order, because otherwise Cam will kill me. But we will have time because we have Taz. So yeah, we will both have to leave because otherwise Taz will throw a little bit of a hissy fit. So I will leave the session right now, if you could do the same as well. Which means we have to blabble on for a few minutes, which I'm sure we're good at because we can waffle on like no tomorrow. So yeah. And it's a shame that Aiden got that as well. He was warming up the tyres as well. I almost got a 5-place grid penalty myself for doing that. So it's quite common. I'm used to it's being seen at PSGL and WOR. This is the first time I've seen it in one hub. Yeah,
actually, this has been quite a relatively safe zone for stuff like that here in P1. It is very common in the likes, as you say, of WR and PSGL. But I mean, it's just really unfortunate, really, on how it's happened, and we're having to do a lobby restart because of it. At the end of the day, it shouldn't even be in a game getting an illegal blocking penalty when you're both on an outlap. That just doesn't make sense. So it's really unfortunate that they still haven't fixed it being this late into the game cycle. But, I mean, for Aiden, he's still going to keep that pole position anyway. He just now needs to reset and go again like everybody else. That's going to be something that could be very challenging to do. You're in that rhythm. You have this 5 or so minute break, and it could throw you out of sync, really. So we'll just have to wait and see. But for Aiden, he's going to keep that pole position, and he's going to try and score as many points as possible here this evening.
Yes, and he's probably relieved that we're going to get a lobby restart for that, and I'm sure everyone's going to be relieved as well to get underway. And we do have a screenshot of the results anyway, and we've got your order. We'll run through your order anyway because we didn't have time because the first thing I saw was Aiden getting a fireplace grid drop. But anyway, Aiden will be on pole with Links in P2, Nick in 3rd, Bryn in 4th position. Arnell will be starting 5th. Then we got J. Cole and George in 6th and 7th. Blind in 8th. Nate Clark in 9th. Matta rounds up your top 10. Then we got Larkin, Konzo, Casper your top 13. They're the last of the ones who set a lap time. Leroy didn't end up getting back into the session, but let's hope he will get back into the session. But the ones who took their engine penalties are Ben Mills, Lakitu, and Colin will be starting right at the back. I don't think Leroy's going to take any further part tonight because he's got internet issues. So it's a bit of a shame for Leroy, but understandable. He doesn't want to cause too much trouble with his internet, so he is unfortunately not racing. But biggest surprise, I would have to say, out of all the other drivers tonight, Nick out-qualified the likes of Bryn and George, and maybe Nate Clark as well, set a very good final sector. And to be fair, his middle sector was pretty decent. If he just found that time in the first sector, he would have been up there with the likes of Links and Aiden. This was a huge shock for me, but I was very, very impressed with his qualifying performance. Can he translate it, though, to the race?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Of course, qualifying pace is one thing, and race pace is, of course, another. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see because overall, it is very difficult to translate race pace, quali pace into race pace because your setup is somewhat bound to each part of the event. So, I mean, now this lobby restart does give them the opportunity to, if they felt like the car balance was wrong, tweak it slightly, and maybe just lose a few rear wings if they felt they were a bit too draggy down those straights. So yeah, it's interesting to see. Of course, a lot of strategy is going to go into this now. I mean, you had Casper do all that running on that soft compound tyre. He knows that tyre better than anybody else in this field now in that session. So he now has a good understanding of when he can box, how long you can push that tyre for. And for the rest of the field, they now all have a fresh allocation of tyre, fresh sets of softs, fresh mediums, fresh hards. They just have everything at their disposal, so expect a lot of them to maybe do a soft, medium, soft. Tyre wear isn't too high around Saudi Arabia, so a soft, medium, soft certainly is possible, and probably the optimum strategy for this race. You start on the quickest tyre, you finish on the quickest tyre, and you take your pain in the middle, or even a medium, soft could work. We'll just have to wait and see what the drivers choose. But for Bryn as well, he couldn't get his final run on the board. Arnaud, that was so unlucky because we saw the track evolution there, Jess. Yeah. He had a very good first run. It was just he crashed early on into that late on in that session, so he wasn't able to get a final run on the board. If he did, could he have got into that top 2? Maybe even could he have got pole position? We don't know. It's just all of what could have been.
Luck of the draw.
He did seem to have some good pace in his Aston Martin.
I have sent you an invite, by the way. The lobby has... well, we're almost getting ready to go with that one. I think we're just waiting on one more driver, but I believe that was Leroy, and he's not joining. So, Larkin, not yet. Max is not in the lobby yet. Yeah, you are. Oh, you are. Good. I was about to say hold the fort, but we're all good with that one as well. But gives us a good chance to talk to you through our sponsors before we get started. Because everyone will have a free choice of tyres now, and they've got pretty much fresh softies at their disposal. We're going to be in for a crazy race. We may as well get through the sponsors now because we won't have time to go through it at any other time. So, Next Level Racing sponsor the league by providing some amazing prizes that you can see on your screen. The driver champion of each tier will be the chance to win a Next Level Racing cockpit and then NLR FGT, and the top 3 will get a chance to win an NLR FGT Lite. And the top 3 of each tier will get another chance to win a Wheel Stand 2.0. So some good prizes there. Pure Sim Gear sponsor the league by providing 1 item for free from their store to the person who has the most combined poles and fastest laps. Aztec Sim Sports sponsors the league by providing merch to the winner of One Hub Racing Driver Rankings. Now to our partners, Vespertine, who supports our visual apparel. Elite Racing Team, ELT Esports, partner the ELT Go and Get Stuff Award and League Trophies. And winner Go and Get Stuff Award gets some ELT merch. And powered by SingGrid, they run our seasons through their community and platform. So thank you very much to those sponsors and partners. So the drivers are given just a little bit longer to get their setups ready, like you were saying, and their strategies, and hopefully enough fuel. But it's time to hear your thoughts, Max. Who do you think is going to be your top 3 tonight?
Oh, top 3 predictions. I think Aiden is going to win the Grand Prix, I can tell you that. And the rest of the field, I mean, Nick has had a really good qualifying in 3rd place, probably best of the season, and puts him in the best opportunity of a podium. So, you know what? Top 3 right here, right now. You heard it here first, folks. It's going to be Nick, Nick, Bryn, Aiden, and take it away, Jess. We're getting underway.
We're about to get underway with the 5 red lights, and it is lights out, and away we go. Aiden has got a monstrous start heading towards turn 1, and so has the likes of Lynx as well. Nick trying to go side by side as well into turn 2. Very tight. Arnall following him through. So is Bryn. Look at the gap that Aiden is pulling due to all that squabbling. Bryn just got past Nick. I'm into 3rd. That's the start that he was looking for. Ben already up into 12. Colin not had the best of starts due to his engine penalty, but still a long way to go on that one. Now heading towards 7, 8 and 9. Jacob right on the back of this train. He could take a little bit of advantage here. But here comes George. He's going to try and get up the inside in towards turn 13. Does he look for it? Nope, he doesn't. He stays behind. Casper trying to do the same thing around the outside of Larkin. A bit of oversteer from the Alpine driver, but Casper caught that, and Casper stays in 10th place. What some battling that we saw so far. But Aiden, look at the gap he's pulling already, 1.3 seconds. He did say it was his favourite track. He was not wrong.
Yeah, Aiden, that is a perfect start to this Grand Prix. He's lost a 10th over the course of the lap to Lynx. It was quite an early ready up, actually, as Larkin goes very wide through turn 23. It's going to allow Ben Mills now to get a run on the Alpine. George versus Nick. Nick going backwards off the start of this Grand Prix. Gone from 3rd down to 5th. And there's a huge send in the background. That's J. Cole. He's tried to gain 3 places. He's lost them all at a rate of knots. He just, I think, missed his braking point slightly there. Went too deep on the brakes. We could see 4 wide now as we head down into turn 1. It's Nave Clark on the inside of Blind and Arnold, and he gets the move done. A brilliant, an audacious send to the inside there from Nave Clark as Arnold under pressure from J. Cole. They're going to go side by side through turns 4 and 5, but Arnold having to sit behind J. Cole there. But Nave Clark, take a bow. The commitment you needed to pinch Blind so close to Arnold, and to be that late on the brakes into the corner. He's done it superbly, and Nave Clark up into 6th place on those mediums. He's going to go for a medium soft, I think here, Jess, and that could certainly be a strategy that works in his favour.
Yes, top 5 on the soft tyres. We've got Nate Clark, Arnold, J. Cole, Casper, Mata and Lakita on the mediums. Everyone else I have not mentioned is on the soft tyres. No one has gone for the hards, because to be honest, hards, in my personal opinion, is not the best race tyre. Bryn is now eyeing up for a move on Lynx. DRS won't be enabled to the next lap, but that's not going to stop Bryn for going for a move. He's a lot quicker than Lynx in the middle sector. Obviously, in the last lap, Lynx was about 8/10 quicker, but now Bryn is just putting the hammer down. Quite literally, as he heads towards turn 27, he goes for the move, he goes for the dive bomb, but that was a huge mistake from him that could give the advantage to George, who's right behind them as well. Here they go, towards the start finish rate. DRS will be enabled this lap. Aiden set the fastest lap, then that close followed by Nate Clark on the mediums, who's up to 6th, biggest gainer so far. But this is just insane stuff. Lynx almost brings that up to 2nd, Lynx in 3rd. This is shaping up to be quite a close race than we would expect. Obviously, Aiden pulling away ever so slightly. If these guys keep squabbling, Aiden's just going to be like, you know what, I'm going to win this race, no problem.
Yeah, Aiden out in front. He's just cruising, and there's all this carnage happening behind him. Of course, you got Bryn now, his teammate, in 2nd place. Of course, they took a 1-2 in the opening round of the season in Australia is now Bryn with a bit of a slide there through the banked hairpin, and Lynx still within DRS range. Of course, DRS is enabled now. We're going to get our first use of it now down this back straight, and we can see how much Lynx can gain onto the back of the AlphaTauri in front. A lot of batteries been used from the Sauber and also the Ferrari of George behind, but Nave Clark, he is flying at the moment. He's already onto the back of Nick in front of him, and can he get the move done on the Mercedes in front? Two Saubers looking at the cars in front, looking for a move with DRS, and here comes Lynx. He's going to back off. He's going to let Bryn have this one into this corner to get the run down into turn one, and Nave Clark's doing the same thing. So here we go then. Lynx heading down that main straight. He's got George behind him he's got to be careful of, but Lynx getting closer and closer in that slipstream, looking to the outside. No, he's just going to sit behind, but this could allow George to pounce on the Sauber as Nave Clark to the inside of Nick. DRS move, and he's got the move done into turn one. Nave Clark up into 5th place. Those medium tyres working a treat, and can he catch up to the 3 cars in front? Because if so, he certainly could be on a perfect strategy in this Grand Prix. And so far, so good for everybody. No drivers into the pit lane for front wing damage, but Nave Clark nearly went off the circuit there and nearly clipped the curb of death. He did ride it slightly, but nothing too major as Ben Mills gets past blind there. I don't know what happened to the Haas man there. He just somewhat got a bit squiggly out of turn 11 as Casper versus Arnaud. Casper round the outside of Arnaud, Lance Stroll-esque on Carlos Sainz, and Casper up into 10th place, and Larkin at the moment occupying the final points paying position. It's battles everywhere, but everyone's still keeping it out of the wall.
This is great stuff so far, and bearing in mind safety cars could play a factor, which is probably why quite a few people are going on the soft tyres, as here comes one of the Alpines of Larkin through turn 22. Lovely helicopter shot as he makes his way past Arnaud up to 11. We did see Arnaud get a 3-second time penalty, so that's not helped him in the slightest at all. We're going to see Nick trying to get past towards turn 27, but Nate Clark knows what Nick is doing. He's going to get some DRS on Nick, and he's going to try and go side by side in towards turn number 1. We got some pit stops.
Wow.
Bryn and George pitting early for probably a set of the medium compounded tyres. But Nate Clark up to 3rd. Ben Mills is up to 4th place. He's got past Nick as well. What a move from Ben Mills. Started near the back due to his engine penalty, and already it's proven for him that he's made the right decision to take it here at Jeddah.
Yeah, I did say that in those opening 5 laps that he could fire his way up the order if he got into a good rhythm.
Oh, he's hit the curb!
Place. Now, he's hit the curb. He's hit the curb of doom on the exit of turn 6. Oh, he nearly took out blind in the process. That was a very dangerous rejoin there for Ben Mills. Blind got an illegal overtake for it. But for Ben Mills, it looks so good, so strong. But Nave Clark nearly did the same thing last time around, but this time Ben Mills actually hit that curb, and unfortunately once you get on top of it you cannot stop your car, and it just acts as somewhat of a lever off the ground, and then you can't turn your wheels. You can't get any grip on the circuit as J. Cole looking for a move on Nick in front. This is over 4th place in the Grand Prix still. Nave Clark shooting away up the road from the Mercedes. Man, does Aiden or Lynx come into the pit lane this time around to maybe react to the undercut from Bryn and also George as J. Cole gets past Nick with DRS. Very nicely done. Aiden into the pit lane, Lynx into the pit lane. And Jess, I wasn't expecting the soft tyres to not go this far.
I was not expecting this either. I was expecting around lap 6, lap 7 people will go into the box. But most people are pitting with around about 20% usage on the soft tyres. So maybe a few people just hate the soft and want to get the soft out the way. And you're starting to see certain drivers struggle with the 30% mark. So I have seen in other tiers the undercut being quite powerful. Aiden still leading that bunch of cars with Lynx in P2. As Konzo's in the pits as well. And here comes Blind had a bit of a moment through turn 10, and that's allowing Casper and Mata to gain quite respectably as well. If there's a safety car now, I don't know if that will help them or hinder them, to be honest, but we're starting to see the soft runners starting to drop back just a tiny bit. For Ben Mills, though, He's, I think, lost about 4 attempts compared to his previous lap. But we can see Casper on mediums. He knows that he's going to try and get past Larkin. He knows Larkin's tyres are dead. Casper's got to make the most of this opportunity. Through goes Casper to turn 22. No, he doesn't get through turn 22 at the moment, so he's going to stay behind for now. But he's going to go side by side through turn 24 and 25 to the left-hand side. We got Matthew who's going to try and follow through. But Casper, what a move. He's going to be 3 wide towards turn 26 and 27 as Larkin has lost few places in the process. Mata with a move on Larkin as well, up to 5th. Blind almost got the pad him as well. Larkin has got to come in now, which he does, as J. Cole to the inside and Nate Clark takes the lead of this Grand Prix, but not the net race leagues. They haven't stopped, but J. Cole is leading on track, but there's just so much battles going on. It's absolutely crazy. I love Jeddah.
Yeah, it's an absolute DRS fest with some of these moves as Bryn is able to get past George there. Link's also falling down behind the Ferrari of George as well. So Link's down to 11th at the moment. George in 10th. Of course, this is the battle over provisional P2 on the road. They've actually caught up to Aiden slightly, have this gaggle of cars, but Aiden will surely pull that gap back out as this race continues. We're on lap 7 of 25 here in the Middle East. We're under the lights in Saudi Arabia, and J. Cole currently leading the way. Ben Mills still out on these soft compounder tyres. He's trying to see how long he can take them and maybe try and overcut strategy. DRS open for the Williams man. You've got Nave Clark versus J. Cole for P1 and 2 as well. And Nave Clark all over the back of the Alpine. The Sauber got to get a good run out to turn 23. DRS open now for Nave Clark as he's going to pull to that outside line and get the move done before he even hits the braking zone. J. Cole demoted to second. Nave Clark up into the lead. Mata getting past Casper as well. The medium tyres holding up strong still at this stage in the Grand Prix. Ben Mills finally decides to come into the pit lane, and Aiden still leading that gaggle of cars that have already come off their soft compounder tyres as Casper gets straight back past Mata into turn 1. Nicely done there by the Haas. Late on the brakes and is able to gather himself up into P3 as Bryn sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix.
We're starting to see, I think, the order really come through for these guys now, as obviously Aiden now in 6th, so he's still in that race lead. George in 2nd, he's gained a lot out of that. Same with the likes of Bryn, as where's Ben going to come out in all of this? Oh, he's won a bit wide. He's got the 2 Mercedes for company. Surely they're going to be working together a little bit here. But Ben just about got ahead of the likes of Nick and Colin there. And that's going to be, I think, huge at this point as well. And Blind and Larkin, they lost quite a bit due to that undercut. Probably because of the incidents that they were involved with before. So that is a shame for them. So that just leaves 5 drivers who have yet to make their stops. According to the data, the stops don't last very long at all. It lasts, I think, around about 7 laps, means about 12, 13, give or take. So these drivers have got to manage this effectively. As Nate Clark trying to go for the move as J. Cole shuts the door, but I know what Nate Clark can do. He wants that DRS going onto this front start finish straight. So he's going to go for the move once again. This is going to be for the lead. Bryn trying to get past George. No, Nate Clark is in. That is early from his medium tyres. So I'm guessing he's either going to do medium, soft, medium, or medium, medium, soft, surely. Or maybe preempting for a potential safety car. But that is early for Sam mediums. What do you think?
It is. He's got front wing damage.
Oh, he's got front wing damage. Oh, no.
Oh,
so he must have hit the wall at some point that we didn't see. It was, hold on, it was, I should have checked, has 60% damage. I know it's minor, but sometimes around Jeddah, that could cost you. That is absolutely gutting for the Alfa Romeo driver, the Sauber driver. And I've just seen as well on Taz, Nick's still running very well, but he's broken his floor apparently. But it's saying he went from 16 to 0% damage, which I find very weird. Not gonna lie. That's annoying. That's annoying Tad's things at the moment. But still, Tad is working quite well at the moment. So Massa still having that battle with Casper. J. Cole still leads by 2.7 seconds. Aiden almost in the back of the train who were on those mediums to start with. The key to in 4th place. So we've got Net AlphaTauri 1-2, George in third, Linked in fourth. Mata to the inside of Casper through turn 26, in towards turn 27. And Mata is in P2. A safety car now would help quite a few of the drivers out, but we are seeing Jaco come into the pit, and I'm sure Mata will follow suit. Yes, it is. So that means Casper will inherit the race lead.
Yeah, so Casper into the lead now. And look at the gap that Bryn now has to Aiden. They've actually really caught up here, have the chasing pack to the AlphaTauri in front. It's unfortunate for Nave Clark as well. Again, this curse for him strikes again. And Bryn now, Jess, within DRS range of Aiden. So Aiden can't get away on these mediums. If anything, is starting to struggle here around Saudi Arabia. So for Bryn, this could be a perfect time for him, Lynx and George to all catch up and latch onto the back of Aiden and maybe form an attack of their own. But they're all spread out by around about 7/10 of a second here. That top four with Casper, of course, still leading the way, 6.1 seconds clear of Aiden in front. And he'll probably box within the next few laps or so. But for Nath Clark, he's now down into 14th place, looking to try and get past Mata. And J. Cole onto a set of the softs. Went down to 10th place. And
he's gained a lot in that overcut.
He has. Oh, and he's hit the wall there and actually got a bit wide. So that could have broke his front wing slightly, but nothing too major for J. Cole. But slight bit of front wing damage around a circuit like this. High speed corners.
He's got no damage.
The downforce can be crucial. And for J. Cole, luckily no damage for the Alpine man, as Lynx looking for a move maybe on Bryn. Bryn now half a second behind Aiden, so we will have DRS down this main straight, but will Lynx be close enough, get that double slipstream, and enough to be able to get a move done into turn one. J. Cole past Colin for 9th place there, but Lynx not close enough for a move on Bryn there. Another two AlphaTauris in flying formation, and will Aiden decide to swap with Bryn, or will Bryn think championship first and become Aiden's rear gunner from the Alfa Romeo behind?
Well, to be honest, looking at the standings currently, of course, Bryn is only down in 4th place with Aiden in 3rd. The gap is around 70 points between Aiden and Bryn. So Bryn wants to try and score as many points as he possibly can. He knows that top 3 will potentially be out of reach. So this could be the time where if Bryn decides that he's going to help his teammate, he's going to probably be like a Sergio Perez and be a minister of defence, as it were, which would be quite good. Nate Clark was up to 12th, by the way, as he's passed Konzo, but Konzo and Mata not that far behind. So the only person who has not done their first stop is Casper, and he's on 42% tyres, but he's still managing to have some decent pace as well. We can see Aiden trying to close in as well and maybe get onto that trail as Jaco trying to make his way past Nick in towards turn 32. What a move from the Alpine driver, and he's setting his sights for blind now on those set of the soft compound tyres, which is definitely heating up right now, even though it's on 9% wear. He's purple in the final sector. He means business. He likes these type of tracks where they're high speed and twisty.
Here comes Bryn.
Here comes Bryn for P2 for the net race lead, and it's like championship is not coming first, it seems. They want to fight for it.
Yeah, Bryn able to get past Aiden there with the DRS. Aiden is struggling. Of course,
that's probably why.
To his name, but he is very much struggling around this circuit at the moment. It's either his tyres are starting to overheat slightly, or he just has no feel for this medium compound of tyre at all. And he's just really falling backwards here in this Grand Prix. Of course, a crucial race in the championship fight. With Nathan Samba not being here, Aiden needs to take away maximum points to at least get as close to Nathan Samba as possible. As Aiden going a bit wide through there, he's struggling with a bit of understeer here. So, is the AlphaTauri man just overheating those fronts ever so slightly, or is it just a matter of fact that he's lost the rhythm here this evening and just needs to find his feet once more? And we'll just have to wait and see how the rest of this stint progresses, because now Aiden, DRS open behind his teammate, and Lynx as well still with him, and George just hanging on to the back of this top 3. He's not really got the pace on these mediums either, does George, to keep with the likes of Lynx and Bryn. but will still just be in sight and be able to hang on to that DRS. Casper, 2.8 seconds now clear of Bryn. He's really trying this overcut and maybe hoping for a safety car here. Aiden, is he going to look for a move? No, he is not. He's just having to sit behind. But for Aiden, Jess, he's really struggling with some front-end rotation. The car seeming heavy as Nate Clark is able to get past Larkin and Nick to the outside of Blind. Is he going to get the move done? Blind late on the brakes, nearly slides into the rear of the Mercedes car in front of him. But Nick is able to get by, and Blind down into 9th place now has Colin all over the back of him.
And Blind is definitely in a well, not a Haas sandwich, a Mercedes sandwich, as it were, as well. Nick running in 8th and Colin running in 10th place. They seem to be having a lot of fun as they make their way towards turn 10, as a few people, we got to keep an eye on the corner cut, as Akitu, as I just said that, has got his first time penalty to his name as Mata goes into the pits for a set of the medium tyres. That will get to the end of this Grand Prix, so we'll see how hard that could stretch. So he's done his 2 stops, I believe. I will check. Yes, he has done his 2 stops, the only driver to have done so. Casper's only done 1. Let's let Casper remember that he needs to stop. I'm guessing he's going to be doing 2 soft stints because obviously we had that lobby restart. He's got 2 softs left. That's probably why in qualifying he wanted to save a few softs so he can do this, which I think is very smart for him. But he's got to lose out so much time to this train. If I was him, I would come in now for a set of softs, which he's going to. He can read my mind. Thank you, Casper. But we got Bryn versus Aiden. Bryn is just doing all he can to keep Aiden and Lynx right behind George as well. That train is getting ever so bigger as well, and this is a fight for the race win. Potentially, Bryn could let Aiden through on the last lap, potentially, if they're around about a similar pace. That's what I would do. Casper comes out. He does go on the sauce, but he's way down the order, unfortunately. But you never know, a safety car can come back into this as well. I would expect to see some of the medium runners coming in very soon for another set of the mediums just to play it safe.
Yeah, Colin into the pit lane, as you said that, for another set of the medium compound of tyre. And the Mercedes man now coming back out onto the circuit, down in 15th place. And has a lot of work to do to try and get back into those points-paying positions. Nick, of course, keeping Nate Clark behind now. The Alfa Romeo man, of course, looked strong earlier on these mediums and then picked up that front wing damage, which cost him big time in this race. Casper come out in front of Colin there, but he'll have to make another pit stop, don't forget, in his Haas. And that could be crucial for him when it comes to overall race time and also where he ends up in this Grand Prix. Could have shot himself in the foot, this strategy, but all it takes is one well-timed safety car to get him in front of everybody else. The Kitsu now all over the back of Larkin. This is over P11. P11 and 12, of course, the final 2 points paying positions of the Grand Prix. And Lakitsu able to get past Larkin there to Moats Larkin down into the last of the points paying places. But further up, Aiden looking close to Bryn, not getting close enough though. This top 4 are all just settling into this rhythm here, but they got to be on their toes because Ben Mills is starting to gain, and J. Cole, what has happened to J. Cole?
Safety car. He's got J. Cole's got no front wing.
Yeah, on my screen, he's gone down into turn 1. I don't know what's happened. He's gone straight on. Maybe, but he's gone straight on and then turned right into the wall.
So I wonder if that was a glitch, maybe, potentially. How's he still in this race?
Or what he could have done is maybe lost focus, misjudged his braking point, panicked, and then turned right into the wall trying to spin it back round. But I'm so confused.
So am I. This is, I think, going to be very tight indeed for all these drivers, as with the likes of the ones who've just pitted, this could be huge for them. Nick just pitted onto a set of the mediums, Colin mediums, Larkin mediums, Mata softs. They're back in this, and I can't remember the pit lane loss around here. So we thought we weren't going to get a safety car. Turns out we've got a safety car deployed. I'm just trying to get gap to leader again. So gap is around the gap between. So I think it's not going to make a difference anyway. Bryn and Ada will still come out in the lead, so they were very lucky. So, what would you do if you were Aiden, Bryn, Lynx, and George? Would you go on softs, or would you play it safe and go onto the medium tyres? Well, we've got mediums for George, mediums for Lynx, we've got mediums for Bryn, mediums for...
Aiden's going to be held up, isn't he?
Aiden's going to be held up, yeah.
He's
That is one
Lynx and George.
disadvantage. That's one disadvantage of the safety car. I didn't think about that. If your teammate's nearby, that's huge. But we got a few people that have gone for risks here. Nate Clark, soft. Kondo, soft. The key two softs. Casper, I think, will go onto a set of softs as well. Yes, he does. Arnold, softs. J. Cole, softs. Matta, softs. What does Nick go on to? Nick's going on to... Well, he's staying on mediums, isn't he? Because he just pitted. So everyone has done their 2 stops now. And we got both tyres available. I don't know who's going to come on top of this one. I don't think the softs will get to the end. I think that the memes are the way to go. But Bryn has been thrown an absolute lifeline. But we got Lynx, who's on for course to get his first win in this league. George has got a sprint win, but he's looking for his first actual win in this series, which will be great to see. Ben Mills is back in this as well. This safety car has helped Ben massively. He's probably thanked the safety car gods, and that's helped him quite a bit, because as it stands, Ben's going to score, I think, 10 points if he finishes where he is, and that it'll be, I think, 158. He'll be 2 points clear of... I'm sorry, I'm just trying to... He'll be 2 points clear of Samba. Aiden... As it stands, he'll be on 12, so he'll be on 156. So Ben, Aiden, and Samba, going into the last 3 rounds of the season, there'll be a few points separating them. I have to say, Max, bring it on, if that's the case.
Yeah, certainly. It will be an interesting way to end off the season. And if we can have a title fight all the way to the death, which I don't think we got last season. I think... Timo rounded it up with a few rounds to go, so it'll be interesting to see if we can get a championship battle here this season. And for Bryn, out in front now, he has a job on his hands to keep Lynx behind, and also Georgia now all on fresh mediums. Safe goal being at the end of next lap, lap 17 of 25. So we'll get at least a total of, if I can do my maths correctly, 7 laps of running left in this Grand Prix. So those medium tyres can easily make it to the end. So can the softs. It will just be a straight dogfight, and you need to look out for one man in this top 10, and that is Nave Clark.
Yes.
On those soft, yes, has a penalty, but still, those soft tyres can work in his favour and at least get him maybe a podium in this Grand Prix at long last. But will it be another podium opportunity here, Jess? Unravelled due to a penalty for Nave Clark. It's happened so many times before, and this is why he's known as the nearly man here. He always has the opportunity for a podium. It's either a crash or a penalty that demotes him off of the roster.
Yes, indeed. We're about to get underway. Many drivers have been wanting to get their best results of the season. We got plenty of races still to come after this one. We got a break week next week, but we got Baku, which is a sprint race, Canada, and then rounding off the season at Abu Dhabi. 3 more races still to come after this one to decide the championship. But we still got to write history here first. Who's going to become the first ever Saudi Arabia race winner at One Hub Racing? Many drivers want it to be them and want to take advantage here tonight. Safety car should be in this lap because Matta is just about to catch to the back of these guys. So we'll watch Bryn as he leads the field away behind the safety car. And I expect if the safety car was to come in this lap, it will be at the middle turn 25 that it will come. Nope, just before that, I think turn 23 and 4. So yeah, safety car is in this lap. Bryn's going to be controlling the field. Watch out for Nate Clark. Watch out for those soft runners to see if they can make their way forward. But we'll see what the medium runners can do as they make their way through. I'll let you take through this race start, so I'm not hogging too much.
Oh, thanks, Jess. I didn't think you were hogging anyway, but we'll get underway here in Saudi Arabia once more. It's up to Bryn now. He has burnt Mylander here this evening. And when does he elect to go? And There, he puts the foot to the floor and we go racing once again here in Saudi Arabia. And it's a brilliant restart there from Bryn. He's 4 attempts clear of Lynx. Heading down into turn 1, so he's got no threat at all. Further back, is there anyone close enough for a move? It doesn't seem so, unless Lakitu can make a send on Larkin, which he cannot. So, Bryn leading the way up in front. Half a second clear from the Sauber of Lynx. Of course, these two were battling on that opening lap of the Grand Prix, and the AlphaTauri man was able to find his way past the Sauber. And now, Lynx needs to stick within the DRS range of Bryn. And could we maybe see another AlphaTauri shoot off into the distance on the opening lap as Larkin has made a mistake? He's dropped down an abundance of places, now behind his teammate J. Cole, and he's down to 14th place. And neither Alpine at the moment scoring points under the lights here in the desert. Here comes Lakitu on Gonzo. No, sorry, it's Arnaud.
Oh, it's Arnaud. Sorry, Arnaud on Larkin. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, so it's also my bad as well. As Nave Clark's got past Ben Mills and Aiden's got past George, both in a matter of meters. Of course, Aiden looking to try and take points away from Nathan Samba. Nave Clark really able to close up on those soft compounds of tyres. He's using them to absolute perfection at the moment. The Sauber looking all over the back of the Ferrari. Is he going to be close enough to make a move to the inside line? He's going to go for one. It's a late lunge by Nave Clark. What a move if he can pull this off. He's going to get a tighter exit, but that means he can't get as much speed down this main straight as George. But here comes Ben Mills on the Williams as well. We're going to see 3 wide between Nave, George and Ben. Ben late on the brakes. Nave Clark goes deep into the corner. Ben gets past George, but there's contact between the pair. Front wing to rear right. Ben Mills still on the inside though for turn 4. Will surely come out on top in this one.
George has got damage.
Finally. George down to 6th. Gets a bit of damage as well.
1%, but still.
Nave Clark over the curb. Nave Clark hits the curb of doom, as just like Ben Mills did before him. And Nave nearly did that in his opening stint. He's done it now, and it's unravelled all his hard work once more, and he's down to 7th place. Super unfortunate for Nave Clark, as he's now down to 7th, and making those moves means nothing now after a lap, and he's hit the curb of doom. And really for Nath, he now needs to try and get past Blind here, which he could do in the exact same place. He got past Ben Mills. There he goes to the inside. But it's what could have been now for Nath, because he was all over the back of Aiden.
Yes, his tyres, I think, are pretty much gone and toast now due to that hit in the curb. And he's on 48, he's on 14%, whereas everyone who's on the soft tyres is on less than that. So, yeah, what could have been for Nate Clark? Conzo makes his way past Nick. He's managing those soft tyres very well, around about 14% as they make their way towards turn 27. But Aiden is eyeing up on a move, on Lynx in towards turn number 1. We'll see what he could do. Here he goes, as Aiden is up into P2 of this race, and he's eyeing out for a potential race victory that could seal him getting the lead of this championship. Ben has dropped off a little bit to Lynx, which is unfortunate, but he's got a chasing George alongside. That could get very tasty indeed. Nick's out the race. Nick is out the race. So he's binned it. I can't quite sure where he's binned it, but that's an awkward place to bin it. And that's him gone. I don't know how that's not a safety car, but we got a no safety car right now. And yeah, that's a shame because he had such a good qualifying, was involved in battles, and now that's his race over.
Yeah, Nick, it's been super unfortunate for him. He really has pushed on in this Grand Prix after flaw early on, and it's just not gone his way, and now he's out of the Grand Prix. I'm surprised, as you say, I'm also surprised that's not a safety car as well, due to the nature of that location. As here comes the Lakitu on Colin Mason. To the inside goes the Aston Martin, but backs out of that one. Was very smart with it, was Lakitu. Knew if he went to the inside there, contact was bound to be made, and it's also given Colin a worse line through 22 and 23. So here comes Lakitu. He's got the DRS. George is able to get past Ben Mills as well as they exit now of turn 27. Aiden getting closer to Bryn, up in front. He's going to maybe go for a move here on his teammate. It could be a replica move of what we saw Bryn do to Aiden, and it is. There goes Aiden.
Ben up to 4th.
Ben Mills up into 4th, passing George, and also Blind. Also got past Nave Clark there for P6. So, battles all over the field, everywhere you look. but Aiden out in front now. The man looking to try and take the championship lead away from Nathan Samba, doing everything he possibly can. And now Bryn would surely be the rear gunner from links behind.
Yes, of course, this could get very tasty towards the end, and I think Bryn is definitely have to play that team game. Nate Clark is out of the race. So where has he binned it? Oh, that's hard to tell. No, again, no. I think we might... Surely we haven't ran out of safety cars, right? Surely
that
not.
Looks like a manual retirement.
It looks... No, he binned it to
we
13.
can't have run out of safety cars. We've only had one safety car.
Yeah, one safety car, yeah. So, well, it is on reduced. So...
But still,
I'm a bit perplexed, to be honest, but at least we actually get to some racing, or they may have run out of laps. I don't know, but we got the top three fighting. We got Ben and George fighting once again. George to the right-hand side of turn 26 and 7. Nicely done, but Ben's going to get the DRS. Akita and Colin trying to do exactly the same thing. The top three are fighting as well. Lynx versus Bryn versus Aiden. Here comes Bryn to the inside of Aiden, and he goes up into the lead of this Grand Prix. Ben Mills does exactly the same on George, and he's up into fourth. The podium could be in sight for him. Casper, recovery driver, him's doing well. He's trying to make his way past the key two. It's quite tough. We've got speeding in the pit lane. J. Cole is out of the race. There's been so many retirements so far. J. Cole definitely retired in the pit lane. Colin trying to go up the inside of Casper. Casper goes off the road. That could have been an unsafe rejoin. Oh, this is very, very tight between the likes of Colin, Casper and Arnhout, but somehow they managed to keep it together. But let's watch that front three once again. Any one of those front three could win this race, but if any of the front three have a bit of a squabble, Ben Mills could take the race victory. So Ben is hoping for carnage to ensue. We hope not, because we want to see the top three fight for this win.
Yeah, we want to see them all fight this one out. Unfortunate for J. Cole and Nate Clark over the past few laps there. And for J. Cole, again, another driver that has struggled in this Grand Prix and not scoring any points. His teammate Larkin is in the points, though, in the final points playing position in 12th, where he seems to have been the whole Grand Prix, only getting higher than 11th. Here comes George on Ben Mills. There goes the Ferrari past the Williams down that back straight, but further up, Bryn, Aiden and Lynx all separated by just over 0.4 of a second. So who will come out on top? Lynx is just keeping out in this one. He's waiting. He's saving his battery and his tyres. But Bryn overtaken there by Aiden. Ben Mills able to get back past George there. George needs to have learned by now that he can't keep going before turn 27 to get the move done. We've got 3 laps to go here in the Middle East under the lights. George looking for a move on Ben Mills, not able to do so as Mata is all over the back of Konzo for 8th place in the Grand Prix. The Keto is going to fall down the order slightly as well. He might fall out the points here, will the Aston Martin, after what has been a very decent drive for him as well. So we'll see. Ben Mills further up, 1.6 behind the top 3. He's got George all over the back of him, who he's had all over the back of him, pressuring him for the past 5 laps of this Grand Prix. Lynx with a big side on the exit of turn 15. Lucky to keep that one out of the wall. But for Lynx, Bryn and Aiden, these 3 are surely going to be battling it out on the final lap of the Grand Prix here, Jess. And I would think that Aiden, at the moment, is in a bit of a spot of bother, because you don't want to be leading heading on to that final lap around Saudi Arabia.
Here we go then. We're about to start the final lap of One Hub Racing, Season 24, round number 9. And we are in for a spicy battle. Make sure that you grab your popcorn. It's going to be great. We've got 2 of the AlphaTauris versus Lynx. Who is going to come out on top? Bryn to the inside, get past Aiden up to 3rd. Ben Mills gets past George. That battle is not going to stop, I think, as well. Konzo gets past Sakitu. So we've got 4 different battles going on right now. Bryn towards turn 4. He's pulling away from Aiden. Lynx unable to do anything about it for now, but they're probably going to wait until the last sector in order to do something. Through goes it towards turn 8, now towards turn 9 and 10. Flicks the car left, and I don't think Lynx is just going to get the time he needs, unfortunately. So I wonder if Bryn is just going to let Aiden through to help Aiden with this championship and lead, or will they going to be fine for it? If I was Bryn, I would probably let Aiden through, but obviously we'll have to wait and see. Bryn would want a win in One Hub Racing, so it will be a well-deserved victory if he could do so. Through turn 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21, and 22 they go. And this is a long DRS straight we are thinking of so far. Is Aiden going to gain what he needed towards turn 22? He does not. But this is going to be the final few moments where it's going to be crucial. Through now 24 and 25. Lakiti's now past Konzo up into 7th place. Nice job for him after his engine penalty. Largid's got a penalty as Aiden still in 2nd place. I don't think he's going to be doing anything about it. This could be a photo finish. They're going to be draining all their battery that they need. But Bryn comes across the line and it's going to be a photo finish as Aiden wins. So Bryn, just like I thought, let Aiden through to help him in the championship. Fair play. Oh no, it's the final lap. I just realised that's the final lap. What?
I was going to say, Aiden win? What's going on?
It's the final lap. I thought it was the final lap last lap. Oh my god. Sorry, Max.
Well, let's just say, Jess, it's a good thing you weren't driving the car because you could have cost yourself many a points in a race.
Yeah, it's not the first time I've done it.
But Aiden is out in front, and look how much Bryn is slowing. Oh my god, the ultimate rear gunner here. The Checo Perez of AlphaTauri here for Bryn. He is holding up Lynx. He's making sure that Lynx can't get close enough to have an attack on Aiden on this final lap of the Grand Prix. And he's just holding station. He's being the good second driver and just wants to see his teammate take that championship lead away from Nathan Samba. But further back, is anyone close enough for a move? George is going to be looking for a move on Ben Mills. Lynx is going to be looking for a move on Bryn as well. We could see a photo finish still, though, as we're getting into the final corner of the race. Aiden is going to be coming up to the line to take what is going to be his second victory of the season. Aiden to the line. He wins and takes the championship lead here in the P1 here in Saudi Arabia. He said it was his favourite circuit, and Aiden takes the victory from Bryn in 2nd. Lynx in 3rd with George in 4th, followed by Ben Mills in 5th. He was just not able to get close enough to the Ferrari man to get the swoop back once again. But Aiden takes the championship lead, and that is surely what he would have wanted to do. Take maximum points when your championship rival is not able to play in the streets of Jeddah.
That was you know how I was so invested in the action. I wasn't checking the laps. I was not checking the laps. I was so invested on the action, and these drivers, I will have to say, take a bow, as Ben Mills does get driver of the day, but we will go through our driver of the day picked in just a moment. And obviously, we've got the sprint race coming up in a couple of weeks' time. There's people that still haven't done their engine penalties yet. I think most of the top 5 have, so they should be all right. But let's run through your order. I feel so bad for calling the last lap early. But Aiden wins from Bryn, from Lynx, George, Ben, Blind, Matter. Matter with a good result from 10th to 7th. So does Blind as well. We got Konzo, Colin and Casper, your top 10. Nikita, Larkin are your final point scorers. Arnold, your final finisher. We've had 3 retirements of Jaco, Nate Clark, and Nick. So now we have to pick our driver of the day. I'll let you go first. Who was your driver of the day, and what would you like to ask him?
I'm gonna go for Bryn, and I'm gonna ask him: was the race? Sorry, let me start that again. Was the aim for the race Aiden to try win this one, and were you going to play the number 2, or was it just a see it as it happens situation in the Grand Prix?
Yeah, so you've gone for Bryn. I'm going to go for the other AlphaTauri of Aiden, from lights to flag. Well, you said it was your favourite track. How do you feel by taking a championship lead going into Baku? And do you think you can hold it for the rest of the season? That is my question. So we are going to wrap it up there. What a great race. No race next week, as I was saying, but in 2 weeks' time, we head to Baku for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. We have to run it because obviously we haven't run it in One Hub for a while. This could bring a bit of chaos. I hope it doesn't, but it's a sprint race, reverse championship order. So the ones who are so used to starting near the back are going to be starting near the front. I think it's going to be fireworks, but you never know. There could be rain. We hope not, but we should be in for exciting Grand Prix next week.
Yeah,
in 2
we
weeks.
certainly should. But unfortunately, Jess, I won't be here for that one. I'll be away.
Oh, yeah, you did say you're not going to be here in 2 weeks' time.
Yes. But hopefully, no matter what, even with my absence, it will still be a brilliant race and we can see the championship fight maybe take another twist. But we'll have to wait and see. It should be another chaotic one as well. Baku, an even trickier challenge than Saudi Arabia just due to the nature of the circuit, especially that castle section. So it'll be interesting to see. I might tune in and tag along, see if I can, but I'll be away. So yeah, unfortunate.
Have a good
for
time.
us, but I will try to, and hopefully you have a good race, as I say. But yeah, I'll be back in the week after, and so yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. But yeah, an absence for me, but that'll be the only one of this season.
Yes, so we will have someone in the commentary box. I have a rough idea on who we're going to bring in, but thank you for watching. Make sure you check out our sponsors, which are on the bottom of your screen. Next Level Racing, Aztec Sim Sports, Pure Sim Gear, and then our partners Vespertine, ERT, and SimGrid. So make sure you do watch the P3 and the P2 streams on YouTube and Twitch tonight. They were absolutely amazing. So make sure you check them out. Also follow us on YouTube and Twitch if you haven't already. Follow us on Twitter, X, and Instagram. Join our Discord as well. All of these can be found at One Hub Racing. So we're gonna love you and leave you. I'm gonna have some food, and we're all gonna have a bit of a lie down after that one because that was incredible. With myself and Max, I'll see you in 2 weeks' time. You will see Aiden. No, you will see Matt in 3 weeks' time, and you will see Aiden try and see if he can claim the championship lead extension. But anyway, see you soon. Have a good evening. Bye bye.